Good morning. Good morning. I was trying to get on sooner, but everybody was getting ready for work and there was just a whole lot going on. So I had to hold off until everybody. Oh, there's a bright light behind me. Sorry. Um, so I was just waiting for everybody to leave so that I could actually, you know, have the time here. But we are going to go ahead and get started. I am in the book of Numbers. So we're doing pretty good. I mean, I did take a little bit of a hiatus there just because I wasn't feeling well and there was a lot going on, but we have made it through 3 books. We're on Numbers and we're moving right along. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I am reading through the Bible with you guys, for you guys, so that way all you have to do is listen. If you want to just keep up with me every day, the only day that I think I'm not going to post is on Sunday, just because it's a little difficult to kind of get on trying to get ready for service on Sunday and stuff. So maybe earlier in the morning, but right now I think Sunday is going to be the one day that I don't post. But other than that, I am on here every day reading for half an hour. That way you can listen while you're getting ready for work or doing whatever, cooking, cleaning, doing whatever. And it's just like an audio book and you just listen to me read for half an hour. And we started at Genesis and we're moving all the way through and getting through as much as we can in the half an hour every day. And if you miss the lives, I am posting the replays over on YouTube. There's a playlist starting from day 1 up until now. And that is it. So I just pray that whoever is watching, whoever is listening, that you are blessed and this is helping you just achieve one of your, salvation goals, trying to get closer to God, getting your word in every day. All right, so we ended at Numbers 9. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if you give me hearts or any gifts or anything, I thank you in advance because I'm not really watching like comments and stuff like that. So I appreciate all your gifts and all your likes and all your hearts and all the things. Be sure to follow me, and that is it. All right, so Numbers 9. The Lord spoke to Moses in the Sinai desert in the first month of the second year after they had left the land of Egypt. Let the Israelites keep the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month at twilight, you will keep it at its appointed time. Keep it according to all its regulations and its customary practices. Oh, wait, did I read this Saturday? I did. So I lied. We're starting at 10 because I read 9. So I'm at 10 now. All right. The Lord spoke to Moses. Make 2 silver trumpets and make them from hammered metalwork. Use them for summoning the community and for breaking camp. When both are blown, the entire community will meet you at the entrance of the meeting tent. When one is blown, the chiefs and the leaders of Israel's divisions will meet you. When you blow a series of short blasts, the camp on the east side will march, and when you blow a second series of short blasts, the camp on the south side will march. You will blow a series of short blasts to announce their march. To gather the assembly, blow a long blast, not a series of short blasts. Aaron's sons, the priests, will blow the trumpet. This will be a permanent regulation for you throughout time. When you go to war in your land against an enemy who is attacking you, you will blow short blasts with the trumpet so that you may be remembered by the Lord your God and be saved from your enemies. On your festival days, your appointed feasts, and at the beginning of your months, you will blow the trumpets over your entirely burnt offerings and your well-being sacrifices. They will serve as a reminder to you to your God. I am the Lord your God. On the 20th day of the second month in the second year, the cloud ascended from the covenant dwelling. The Israelites set out on their march from the Sinai desert, and the cloud settled in the Paran desert. They marched for the first time at the Lord's command through Moses. The banner of Judah's camp marched first with its military units. Nishan, Aminadab's son, commanded his military. Nethanel, Zuar's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Issachar. Eliab, Helon's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Zebulun. The dwelling was taken down, and the Gershonites and the Merarites, who carried the dwelling, marched. The banner of Reuben's camp marched with its military units. Eleazar, Sheddeur's son, commanded his military. Shelumiel, Zurishaddai's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Simeon. Eliasaph, Deuel's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Gad. The Kohathites, who carried the holy things, marched. The dwelling would be set up before their arrival. The dwelling would be set up before their arrival. The banner of Ephraim's camp marched with its military units. Elishama, Amihud's son, commanded its military. Gamaliel, Pedazur's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Manasseh. Abidan, Gideoni's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Benjamin. The banner of Dan's camp, at the rear of the whole camp, marched with its military units. Aizar, Amishaddai's son, commanded its military. Pagiel, Okran's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Asher. Ahira, Enon's son, commanded the military of the tribe of Naphtali. This was the order of departure of the Israelites with their military units when they set out. Moses said to Hobab the Midianite, Reuel's son, and Moses' father-in-law, "We're marching to the place about which the Lord has said, 'I'll give it to you.' Come with us, and we'll treat you well, for the Lord has promised to treat Israel well." Hobab said to him, "I won't go. I'd rather go to my land and to my folk." Moses said, "Please don't abandon us, for you know where we can camp in the desert, and you can be our eyes. If you go with us, whatever good the Lord does for us, we'll do for you." They marched from the Lord's mountain for 3 days. The Lord's chest containing the covenant marched ahead of them for 3 days to look for a resting place for them. Now the Lord's cloud was over them by day when they marched from the camp. When the chest set out, Moses would say, "Arise, Lord, let your enemies scatter, and those who hate you flee." When it rested, he would say, "Return, Lord, of the 10,000 thousands of Israel." When the people complained intensely in the Lord's hearing, the Lord heard and became angry. Then the Lord's fire burned them and consumed the edges of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses, Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire subsided. The name of that place was called Taberah. The name of that place was called Taberah because the Lord's fire burned against them. The riffraff among them had a strong craving. Even the Israelites cried again and said, "Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish we ate in Egypt for free, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. Now our lives are wasting away. There is nothing but manna in front of us." The manna was like coriander seed, and its color was like resin. The people would roam around and collect it and grind it with millstones or pound it in the mortar. Then they would boil it in pots and make it into cakes. It tasted like cakes baked in olive oil. When the dew fell on the camp during the night, the manna would fall with it. Moses heard the people crying throughout their clans, each at his tent's entrance. The Lord was outraged, and Moses was upset. Moses said to the Lord, "Why have you treated your servant so badly? And why haven't I found favor in your eyes? For you have placed the burden of all these people on me. Did I conceive all these people? Did I give birth to them? That you hope that you would say to me, 'Carry them at your breast'?" As a nurse carries an unweaned child to the fertile land that you promised their ancestors, where am I to go? Where am I to get meat for all these people? They are crying before me and saying, "Give us meat so we can eat." I can't bear this. Hmm? I can't bear this people on my own. Sorry, I don't know. They're too heavy for me. If you're going to treat me like this, please kill me. If I've found favor in your eyes, then don't let me endure this wretched situation. The Lord said to Moses, "Gather before me 70 men from Israel's elders, whom you know as elders and officers of the people. Take them to the meeting tent and let them stand there with you. Then I'll descend and speak with you there. I'll take some of the Spirit that is on you and place it on them. Then they will carry the burden of the people with you so that you won't bear it alone. To the people you will say, 'Make yourselves holy for tomorrow. Then you will eat meat, for you've cried in the Lord's hearing. Who will give us meat to eat? It was better for us in Egypt.' The Lord will give you meat, and you will eat. You won't eat for just 1 day or 2 days or 5 days or 10 days or 20 days, but for a whole month until it comes out of your nostrils and nauseates you. You've rejected the Lord who's been with you, and you have cried before him, saying, 'Why did we leave Egypt?'" Moses said, "The people I'm with are 600,000 on foot, and you're saying, 'I will give them meat, and they will eat for a month.' Can flocks and herds be found and slaughtered for them? Or can all the fish in the sea be found and caught for them?" The Lord said to Moses, "Is the Lord's power too weak? Now you will see whether my word will come true for you or not." So Moses went out and told the people the Lord's words. He assembled 70 men from the people's elders and placed them around the tent. The Lord descended in a cloud, spoke to him, and took some of the Spirit that was on him and placed it on the 70 elders. When the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but only this once. 2 men had remained in the camp, one named Eldad and the second named Medad, and the Spirit rested on them. They were among those registered, but they hadn't gone out to the tent. So they prophesied in the camp. A young man ran and told Moses, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." Joshua, Nun's son and Moses' assistant since his youth, responded, "My master Moses, stop them." Moses said to him, "Are you jealous for my sake? If only all the Lord's people were prophets, with the Lord placing his Spirit on them." Moses and Israel's elders were assembled in the camp. A wind from the Lord blew up and brought quails from the sea. It let them fall by the camp, about a day's journey all around the camp, and about 3 feet deep on the ground. Then the people arose and gathered the quail all that day, all night, and all the next day. The least collected was 10 homers, and they laid them out around the camp. While the meat was still being between their teeth and not yet consumed, the Lord's anger blazed against the people. The Lord struck the people with a very great punishment. The name of that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, because there they buried the people who had the craving. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the people marched to Hazeroth. When they were in Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses on account of the Cushite woman whom he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he also spoken through us?" The Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was humble, more so than anyone on the earth. Immediately the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, "You 3 go out to the meeting tent." So the 3 of them went out. Then the Lord descended in a column of cloud, stood at the entrance of the tent, and called to Aaron and Miriam. The 2 of them came forward. He said, "Listen to my words. If there is a prophet of the Lord among you, I make myself known to him in visions. I speak to him in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. He has proved to be reliable with all my household. I speak with him face to face, visibly, not in riddles. He sees the Lord's form. So why aren't you afraid to criticize my servant Moses?" The Lord's anger blazed against them, and they went back. When the cloud went away from over the tent, Miriam suddenly developed a skin disease, flaky like snow. Aaron turned towards Miriam and saw her skin disease. Then Aaron said to Moses, "O my master, please don't punish us for the sin that we foolishly committed. Please don't let her be like the stillborn, whose flesh is half eaten as it comes out of the mother's womb." So Moses cried to the Lord, "God, please heal her." The Lord said to Moses, "If her father had spit in her face, she would not be shamed for 7 days. Let her be shut out of the camp for 7 days and be ashamed for 7 days. Let her be shut out of the camp for 7 days, and afterward she will be brought back." So they shut Miriam out of the camp for 7 days, and the people didn't march until Miriam was back. Afterward, the people marched from Hazeroth, and they camped in the Paran Desert. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Send out men to explore the land of Canaan, which I'm giving to the Israelites. Send one man from each ancestral tribe, each a chief among them." So Moses sent them out from the Paran Desert according to the Lord's command. All the men were leaders among the Israelites. These are their names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shemua, Zachar's son. The tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, Hori's son. The tribe of Judah, Caleb, Jephunneh's son. The tribe of Issachar, Igal, Joseph's son. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, Nun's son. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, Raphu's son. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, Sodi's son. From the tribe of Joseph. From the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, Susi's son. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel, Gamali's son. From the tribe of Asher, Sethur, Michael's son. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, Voshi's son. From the tribe of Gad, Geuel, Maki's son. These are the names of the men whom Moses set out to explore the land. Moses changed the name of Hoshea, Nun's son, to Joshua. When Moses sent them out to explore the land of Canaan, he said to them, "Go up there in the arid southern plain and into the mountains. You must inspect the land. What is it like? Are the people who live in it strong or weak, few or many? Is the land in which they live good or bad? Are the towns in which they live camps or fortresses? Is the land rich or poor? Are there trees in it or not? Be courageous and bring back the land's fruit." It was the season of first ripe grapes. They went up and explored the land from the Zin Desert to Rehob, near Lebohamath. They went up into the arid southern plain and entered Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the descendants of the Anakites, lived. Hebron was built 7 years before Tanis in Egypt. Then they entered the cluster ravine, cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, and carried it on a pole between them. They also took pomegranates and figs. That place was called the cluster ravine because of the cluster of grapes that the Israelites cut down from there. They returned from exploring the land after 40 days. They went directly to Moses. Aaron and the entire Israelite community in the Paran Desert at Kadesh. They brought back a report to them and to the entire community and showed them the land's fruit. Then they gave their report. We entered the land to which you sent us. It's actually full of milk and honey, and this is its fruit. There are, however, powerful people who live in the land. The cities have huge fortifications, and we even saw the descendants of the Anakites there. The Amalekites live in the land of the arid southern plain. The Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the mountains, and the Canaanites live by the sea along the Jordan. Now Caleb calmed the people before Moses and said, "We must go up and take possession of it, because we are more than able to do it." But the men who went up with him said, "We can't go up against the people because they are stronger than we." They started a rumor about the land that they had explored, telling the Israelites, "The land that we crossed over to explore is a land that devours its residents. All the people we saw in it are huge men. We saw there the Nephilim, the descendants of Anak, come from the Nephilim. We saw ourselves as grasshoppers, and that's how we appeared to them." And this next chapter is pretty long. I think I can get it in 10 minutes. The entire community raised their voice, and the people wept that night. All the Israelites criticized Moses and Aaron. The entire community said to them, "If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we had died in this desert. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our children will be taken by force. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt?" So they said to each other, "Let's pick a leader, and let's go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before the assembled Israelite community. But Joshua, Nun's son, and Caleb, Jephunneh's son, from those who had explored the land, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite community, "The land we crossed through to explore is an exceptionally good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, he'll bring us into this land and give it to us. It's a land that's full of milk and honey. Only don't rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They are our prey. Their defense has deserted them, but the Lord is with us, so don't be afraid of them." But the entire community intended to stone them. Then the Lord's glory appeared in the meeting tent to all the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people disrespect me? And how long will they doubt me after all the signs that I have performed among them? I'll strike them down with a plague and disown them. Then I'll make you into a great nation, stronger than they." Moses said to the Lord, "The Egyptians will hear, for with your power you brought these people up from among them. They'll tell the inhabitants of this land. They've heard that you, Lord, are with this people. You, Lord, appear to them face to face. Your cloud stands over them. You go before them in a column of cloud by day and in a column of lightning by night. If you kill these people, every last one of them, the nations who heard about you will say, 'The Lord wasn't able to bring these people to the land that he solemnly promised to give them, so he slaughtered them in the desert.' Now let my master's power be as great as you declared when you said, 'The Lord is very patient and absolutely loyal, forgiving wrongs and disloyalty. Yet he doesn't forego all punishment, disciplining the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of their ancestors' wrongs. Please forgive the wrongs of these people because of your absolute loyalty, just as you've forgiven these people from their time in Egypt until now.' Then the Lord said, 'I will forgive as you requested, but as I live, and as the Lord's glory fills the entire earth, none of the men who saw my glory and the signs I did in Egypt and in the desert, but tested me these 10 times and haven't listened to my voice, will see the land I promised to their ancestors. All who disrespected me won't see it, but I'll bring my servant Caleb into the land that he explored, and his descendants will possess it because he has a different spirit, and he has remained true to me. Since the Amalekites and the Canaanites live in the valley, tomorrow turn and march into the desert by the route of the Reed Sea. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, "How long will this wicked community complain against me? I've heard the Israelites dissent as they continue to complain against me. So to them, as I live, says the Lord, just as I've heard you say, so I'll do to you. Your dead bodies will fall in this desert. None of you who were enlisted and were registered from 20 years old and above, who complained against me, will enter the land in which I promised to settle you, with the exception of Caleb, Jephunneh's son, and Joshua, Nun's son. But your children, whom you said would be taken by force, I'll bring them in, and they will know the land that you rejected. Your bodies, however, will fall in this desert, and your children will be shepherds in the desert for 40 years. They will suffer for your unfaithfulness until the last of your bodies fall in the desert. For as many days as you explored the land, that is, 40 days, just as many years you'll bear your guilt, that is, 40 years. This is how you will understand my frustration. I, the Lord, have spoken. I will do this to the entire wicked community who gathered against me. They will die in this desert. There they'll meet their end." The men whom Moses sent out to explore the land had returned and caused the entire community to complain against him by starting a rumor about the land. These men died by a plague in the Lord's presence on account of their false rumor. But Joshua, Nun's son, and Caleb, Jephunneh's son, survived from those men who went to explore the land. Moses spoke these words to the Israelites, and the people mourned bitterly. They rose early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain range, saying, "Let's go up to the place the Lord told us to, for we have sinned." But Moses said, Why do you disobey the Lord's command? It won't succeed. Don't go up, for the Lord isn't with you. Don't be struck down before your enemies. The Amalekites and the Canaanites will be there in front of you, and you will fall by the sword because you turned away from the Lord. And the Lord is no longer with you. Yet they recklessly ascended towards the top of the mountains, even though Moses and the Lord's chest containing the covenant didn't depart from the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in those mountains descended, struck them down, and beat them all the way to Hormah. And I'm going to end there for today. So we are on chapter 15 come tomorrow. And again, I will be posting the replay of this over on my YouTube channel. If you haven't, check me out over there. Please do make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things so that you're notified when I upload over there, because I do other stuff over there that you don't see here sometimes. So be sure to check me out over there. And I will be back tomorrow for another 30 minutes. I don't know what time yet. Probably, I don't know. It may be earlier in the morning just because I do have an appointment tomorrow. So maybe about 8 or 8:30. So just stay tuned and be sure to follow so that you are notified when I go live again. All right, so that is it for today. And until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye.